The year was 2371, and the galaxy was a place of wonder and peril. I am Dr. Miachin, a virologist specializing in extraterrestrial pathogens, and this is the story of the most harrowing mission of my life. It began on Calypso Station, orbiting the lush planet of Eridani 4 in the Andromeda Galaxy. Our story unfolded in the midst of a crisis that shook the very foundations of the Eridani colony. A mysterious alien virus, brought back by a team of explorers, had struck the colony, spreading rapidly and mercilessly. The virus was unlike anything we had encountered, its symptoms both horrific and inexplicable. I was working in the high-security lab on Calypso Station, surrounded by vials, holographic displays, and advanced medical equipment. The atmosphere was tense, the air filled with a mix of determination and fear. My team and I had been working tirelessly, analyzing samples of the virus, racing against time to develop a vaccine. It was during these desperate hours that I first met Captain Leo Rivera, a young, audacious spaceship pilot assigned to deliver the vaccine to Eridani. Leo was a striking figure, his demeanor calm yet assertive, a stark contrast to the chaos that surrounded us. The spaceport was a scene of organized pandemonium. Ships of all sizes and shapes were docked, loading supplies and passengers. The news of the outbreak had sparked a wave of panic, with people desperate to leave the station, fearing the spread of the virus. Leo and I boarded the sleek spacecraft, Nova Dawn, its hull gleaming under the artificial lights of the spaceport. The ship was a marvel of engineering, equipped with the latest technology to ensure a swift and safe journey. The vaccine, contained in a specialized cryo container, was secured in the ship's cargo hold, our precious cargo in this race against death. As we prepared for departure, I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. The station, usually a hub of activity and excitement, now felt like a place of impending doom. The faces of the people, the hurried goodbyes, and the distant wail of sirens created a tapestry of fear and urgency. Nova Dawn's engines roared to life, and we felt the familiar pull of acceleration. Leo's skills as a pilot were evident as he expert. LY navigated the ship through the bustling traffic of the spaceport. As we broke free from the station's gravitational pull, the stars beyond beckoned us, a vast expanse of darkness punctuated by the twinkling of distant celestial bodies. I found myself glued to the viewport, watching as Calypso Station dwindled into a speck against the backdrop of Eridani 4. My thoughts were with the colony below, where fear and sickness awaited our arrival. The weight of our mission, to deliver hope in the form of a vaccine, lay heavy on my shoulders. As we set our course for Eridani, I couldn't help but reflect on the task ahead. The unknown nature of the virus, the uncertainty of the vaccine's effectiveness, and the perilous journey through space, all these factors swirled in my mind, a storm of apprehension and resolve. I turned to Leo, who was focused on the navigation controls, his expression one of concentration and calm. In him, I saw not just a pilot but a companion in this daunting endeavor. Together, we were more than just a scientist and a pilot. We were guardians of a potential cure, the last hope for a colony facing an unprecedented threat. As Nova Dawn sped through the stars, I realized that our journey was not just a physical one. It was a journey through the unknown, a test of our courage and our dedication to saving lives. The darkness of space around us was a reminder of the vastness of our universe and the fragility of life within it. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The days leading up to our departure were a blur of activity and intense focus. Back on Calypso Station, the lab where I worked was a hive of controlled chaos. My team and I were in a race against time, our every action dictated by the urgency of the outbreak on Eridani 4. The lab was a stark contrast to the rest of the station. Here, amidst beeping machines and glowing screens, we worked tirelessly. The walls were lined with digital displays showing molecular structures and viral sequences, while tables were cluttered with petri dishes, microscopes, and an array of scientific instruments. The vaccine was our beacon of hope, a complex concoction of genetic engineering and cutting-edge science. Its creation was a meticulous process, balancing the need for speed with the precision required in molecular biology. I remember the tension in the air, palpable and heavy, as my team and I scrutinized every detail, every variable. The vaccine itself was a marvel of virology. It was designed to target the unique properties of the alien virus, to neutralize its ability to replicate while triggering the immune system to mount a defense. The challenge was immense. The virus was unlike anything we had encountered, its structure a labyrinth of unknown proteins and genes. As the lead virologist, I felt the weight of responsibility. The vaccine had to work. There were no alternatives, no plan B. The lives of thousands of colonists, the future of Eridani 4, depended on our success. The day we finalized the vaccine was one of cautious optimism. My team and I watched as the final batch was synthesized, a liquid essence of hope contained in vials of glass. The vaccine was then placed in a specialized cryo container, designed to keep it stable and potent during our journey through space. Captain Leo Rivera was there when we secured the container in the cargo hold of the Nova Dawn. His presence was reassuring, a reminder that we were not alone in this endeavor. Together, we reviewed the flight plan, a trajectory that would take us through some of the most challenging sectors of space on our way to Eridani 4. The atmosphere in the lab shifted as we prepared to leave. There were handshakes, solemn nods, and a few brave smiles. My team knew the gravity of the task ahead, the perilous journey through space, and the uncertainty of what we would find upon our arrival at the colony. As I left the lab, I took one last look at the place that had been my world for the past weeks. The blinking lights, the hum of machinery, and the faint smell of antiseptic were etched into my memory. It was here that we had waged our first battle against the alien virus, armed with science and determination. Stepping into the Nova Dawn, I felt a shift within me. The confines of the ship were a stark contrast to the open space of the lab. Here, every inch was utilitarian, designed for the rigors of space travel. The cockpit was a maze of controls and screens, while the living quarters were compact but functional. As Leo initiated the launch sequence, I settled into my seat, my mind racing with thoughts of the mission ahead. The vaccine in the cargo hold was more than just a vial of medicine. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of survival. As the engines roared to life and the Nova Dawn lifted off, I felt a surge of adrenaline. We were embarking on a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty, but also one of profound importance. The fate of Eridani 4, the lives of its colonists, and the battle against an unseen enemy lay in our hands. The launch of the Nova Dawn from Calypso Station was a moment etched in urgency and foreboding. As the ship disengaged from the docking clamps and drifted into the vastness of space, I, Dr. Miachin, felt a mix of apprehension and resolve. Captain Leo Rivera's steady hands on the controls were the only assurance in a sea of uncertainty. The spaceport was a frenzy of activity, a stark reminder of the crisis unfolding across the galaxy. Ships of all kinds were hastily departing, filled with those fleeing the outbreak and others like us, embarking on missions of aid and research. The air was thick with a sense of impending doom, the fear of the unknown virus palpable. Amidst this chaos, our departure was not a quiet affair. The news of our mission had spread, and as we navigated through the congested space lanes, I could see other ships pausing to give us space, their crews watching us with a mixture of hope and despair. It was a solemn send-off, a silent acknowledgement of the gravity of our task. Inside the Nova Dawn, The atmosphere was tense. The cockpit was a cocoon of concentration, bathed in the soft glow of instrument panels and screens. Leo's focus was unyielding as he maneuvered the ship with precision, his eyes flicking across the readouts, calibrating our trajectory for the fastest route to Eridani 4. The living quarters of the ship, compact and efficient, were a stark contrast to the spaciousness of the lab I had left behind. Every inch of space was accounted for, with storage compartments, sleeping bunks, and a small common area. The vaccine, our precious cargo, was secured in the cargo hold, its safety paramount to our mission. As we cleared the last of the space traffic and set course for deep space, I couldn't help but glance back at Calypso Station, now a diminishing speck of light against the backdrop of stars. It was a poignant moment, leaving behind the familiar to face the unknown. The first leg of our journey was quiet, the only sounds being the hum of the ship's engines and the occasional beep of a console. The vastness of space enveloped us, a tapestry of darkness pierced by distant stars and galaxies. It was both awe-inspiring and intimidating, a reminder of our smallness in the grand scheme of the universe. As I settled into the rhythm of the ship, my thoughts were with the colonists on Eridani 4. The virus, with its unknown origins and devastating effects, was a ticking time bomb. Our mission was not just a delivery, it was a race against time, a fight against an invisible enemy that threatened to unravel the fabric of human life on the colony. In the solitude of space, I realized the weight of our journey. We were not just carrying a vaccine, we were carrying hope, the culmination of human effort and science against a threat from the stars. It was a burden we bore willingly, a testament to our commitment to save lives, no matter the cost. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. As the Nova Dawn sliced through the cosmos, Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, settled into a routine, the ship becoming our temporary world. Our journey to Eridani 4 was underway, but space, as I had learned, was full of unpredictability. The first challenge hit us unexpectedly. Leo's calm voice broke the silence. "Dr. Chen, brace yourself. We're approaching a debris field." His hands moved deftly over the controls, his eyes locked on the viewport. I strapped myself in, watching as the tranquility of space was shattered by a field of floating debris, remnants of a forgotten space battle or a collapsed satellite. Navigating through the debris field was a test of Leo's piloting skills. The ship weaved and dodged, the debris coming at us like silent, deadly phantoms in the void. The tension was palpable, each maneuver a dance with danger. The Nova Dawn, agile and swift, responded to Leo's commands with precision, but the threat of collision loomed at every turn. I could see the concentration etched on Leo's face, his jaw set, his focus unwavering. The cabin was filled with the sound of our breathing and the occasional pings of the proximity sensors. It was a ballet of survival, a testament to human skill and engineering against the chaos of space. The debris field was a jarring reminder of the perils that lay in our path. Pieces of metal, remnants of spacecraft, and unidentifiable objects floated by, each a story of its own, now reduced to space flotsam. The sight was a solemn testament to the harshness of space travel, the risks taken by those who ventured into the unknown. As we cleared the debris field, Leo let out a sigh of relief, the tension easing from his shoulders. "Well done, Captain," I said, admiration in my voice. He gave a small smile, his eyes still on the viewport. "Just part of the job, Dr. Chen. But keep your eyes open. Space always has more surprises." The encounter with the debris field was a stark reminder of the challenges we faced. It wasn't just the virus we were battling. It was the journey itself, a path fraught with unforeseen obstacles and dangers. The vastness of space, with its beauty and mystery, was also a realm of unpredictability and peril. As the Nova Dawn continued on its course, the debris field behind us, I found myself pondering the fragility of our existence. Out here, amidst the stars and the cold expanse of space, our lives hung by a thread, dependent on the integrity of our ship and the skills of its pilot. The journey to Eridani 4 was more than a mission. It was a voyage through the unknown, a confrontation with the dangers of the cosmos. Each light year traveled, each obstacle overcome, brought us closer to our destination, but also reminded us of the countless risks that lay in wait. In the silence that followed, with the starscape stretching endlessly before us, I felt a renewed sense of determination. The vaccine in our cargo hold was a beacon of hope, not just for the colony, but for humanity's ability to persevere in the face of insurmountable odds. Our mission was a testament to the human spirit, a journey of courage and resilience. As the Nova Dawn hurtled through space, I realized that we were part of something greater, a story of survival and triumph against the darkness of space and the shadow of an alien virus. After navigating the debris field, Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Mia Chin, believed we had faced the worst of our challenges. However, the depths of space held more than just physical obstacles. Our encounter with the debris was soon overshadowed by a more menacing threat. Dr. Chin, we've got incoming craft, Leo announced, his voice tense. The calm of space was disrupted by the appearance of several unidentified ships on our radar. They approached rapidly, cutting through space with a predatory grace. It didn't take long for us to realize their intent. Pirates, I muttered, a chill running down my spine. Space pirates were known to roam these parts, preying on vulnerable ships. They were ruthless, driven by profit, and devoid of morality. The fact that we were on a mission to save lives meant nothing to them. Leo's hands were steady on the controls, but his brow was furrowed with concern. "They're hailing us," he said, activating the communication panel. The screen flickered to life, revealing the face of the pirate leader, a man with a scarred face and a menacing grin. "We know you're carrying something valuable, and we're here to take it," he sneered. His eyes were cold, his demeanor threatening. Leo tried to reason with him, explaining our mission's urgency, but the pirate leader was unmoved. He wanted the vaccine, seeing it as a treasure to be bartered. The Nova Dawn was not equipped for combat. Our only advantage was speed and maneuverability. Leo made a split-second decision. "Hold on, Dr. Chin," he said, pushing the engines to their limits. The ship lurched forward, evading the pirates' initial attempt to board us. What followed was a tense cat-and-mouse chase through space. Leo's skills as a pilot were our only defense, weaving and dodging through the pirates' barrage of fire. The ship shuddered with each near miss, the sound of the enemy's weapons a constant threat. I braced myself, watching helplessly as Leo navigated through the onslaught. The vaccine, our mission, our very lives were at stake. The pirates were relentless, but Leo's determination was unyielding. He maneuvered the Nova Dawn with precision and bravery, each move a testament to his skill and resolve. The chase seemed to last an eternity, our ship gliding, twisting, and turning through the dark expanse of space, narrowly evading each attack. The pirate ships were persistent, but Leo's ingenuity kept us one step ahead. He used the remnants of the debris field to our advantage, leading the pirates into a hazardous dance among the floating wreckage. In a daring move, Leo piloted the Nova Dawn through a particularly dense cluster of debris, using it to shield us from the pirates' sensors. The maneuver was risky, but it paid off. The pirate ships, less agile and unable to follow without risking severe damage, were forced to pull back, their shots disappearing into the void of space. As we emerged from the other side of the debris field, the pirate ships were no longer in pursuit. Leo let out a deep breath, the tension easing from his shoulders. "That was too close," he said, his voice a mix of relief and fatigue. I slumped back in my seat, my heart still racing from the adrenaline. The encounter with the pirates was a stark reminder of the dangers we faced, not just from the vastness of space, but from those who sought to exploit its lawlessness. Our mission to deliver the vaccine to Eridani 4 was not just a battle against time and space, but also against the greed and cruelty of those who would stop at nothing to profit from desperation. In the face of such adversity, our resolve was only strengthened, the importance of our task underscored by the challenges we faced. As the Nova Dawn continued on its journey, the pirate encounter behind us but not forgotten, I realized that this mission was more than a delivery. It was a fight for the very essence of humanity, a struggle between life and death, hope and despair. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The encounter with the space pirates left us rattled but resolute. As Captain Leo Rivera skillfully piloted the Nova Dawn deeper into space, the weight of our mission to Eridani 4 felt heavier than ever. We were not just battling the void of space, but also the greed and malice lurking within it. Our journey continued, each star system and asteroid field we passed a reminder of the vast and often hostile universe we inhabited. The darkness of space was a constant companion, its silent expanse both awe-inspiring and intimidating. We were a mere speck in the infinite cosmos, yet our mission carried the weight of countless lives. Leo's expertise as a pilot was our greatest asset, navigating through space with a precision that spoke of years of experience. He maneuvered the Nova Dawn with a deft hand, avoiding the hazards that space travel inevitably presented. I, Dr. Miachin, spent my time monitoring the vaccine in the cargo hold, ensuring its stability. The cryo container, with its faint hum and soft glow, held the key to combating the alien virus. I often found myself staring at it, pondering the hope it represented for the people of Eridani 4. As we neared the outer reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, the isolation of space travel became more pronounced. Our only connection to the rest of humanity was the occasional burst of communication from distant outposts or passing ships. These moments were brief but served as a vital reminder that we were not entirely alone in our endeavor. The journey was not without its challenges. Space is an unpredictable realm, and we encountered our fair share of obstacles. Solar flares, gravitational anomalies, and the ever-present threat of unknown entities kept us on constant alert. Leo's calm demeanor in the face of these challenges was a source of comfort. His ability to navigate through adversity was nothing short of remarkable. However, the physical obstacles paled in comparison to the mental and emotional toll of our mission. The vast, empty expanse of space can evoke a sense of insignificance, a feeling that was compounded by the knowledge of the suffering on Eridani 4. The virus's effects were devastating, and with each passing moment, the urgency of our mission grew. Through our communications array, we received updates on the situation in the colony. The virus was relentless, its spread rapid and unforgiving. The reports were grim. Entire sections of the colony quarantined, medical facilities overwhelmed, and a rising sense of panic among the population. Each update fueled our determination, reminding us of the importance of our task. Navigating through hostile territory was a constant challenge. The space routes to Eridani 4 were fraught with hazards, both natural and man-made. Leo's vigilance was unwavering, his eyes constantly scanning the ship's sensors for any signs of danger. As we traveled, the confines of the Nova Dawn began to feel more pronounced. The ship, though equipped with all necessities, was a small world within the vastness of space. We had only each other for company, our conversations a mix of mission details and shared reflections on our journey. Despite the challenges, there was a sense of camaraderie that developed between us. Leo's tales of his adventures as a pilot and my insights into the world of virology provided brief respites from the tension of our mission. It was a bond forged in the crucible of a shared goal to deliver the vaccine and save lives. The dark, vast expanse of space was a constant backdrop to our journey, a reminder of the scale of our endeavor. The stars, distant and cold, watched over us as we forged ahead, a tiny vessel carrying a flicker of hope in the face of a seemingly insurmountable challenge. As we neared the outer reaches of Eridania IV system, the reality of what awaited us loomed larger. The colony, once a bustling hub of exploration and progress, was now a hotbed of fear and illness. Our arrival would bring much-needed relief, but also the stark reality of the virus's impact. The journey through space, with its isolation and perils, was a testament to human resilience and the enduring spirit of exploration. Despite the odds, we pressed on, driven by the knowledge that our mission could make the difference between life and death for the people of Eridani IV. As the Nova Dawn approached the outer orbit of Eridani IV, the grim reality of our mission came into sharper focus. Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, were about to witness firsthand the devastation caused by the alien virus. Our journey through space had been fraught with challenges, but nothing could have prepared us for what awaited us on the colony. We received transmissions from the planet, each one more harrowing than the last. The virus had spread through the colony at an alarming rate, overwhelming their medical facilities and leaving a trail of despair in its wake. The once vibrant colony, a beacon of human expansion and exploration, was now a scene of unimaginable suffering. The descriptions of the virus's effects were chilling. Victims experienced severe respiratory distress, neurological symptoms, and a rapid deterioration of health. The medical teams on the ground were working tirelessly, but they were running out of resources and time. The death toll was rising, and with it, the sense of urgency in our mission grew. As a virologist, I had studied countless pathogens, but the alien nature of this virus made it uniquely terrifying. It was a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of unknown extraterrestrial diseases. The images and reports we received painted a picture of a colony on the brink of collapse, its people clinging to the faint hope of a cure. Leo remained stoic as he piloted the ship, but I could see the concern in his eyes. The responsibility of our mission weighed heavily on us both. We were not just delivering a vaccine, we were carrying the hopes of an entire colony. As we orbited the planet, preparing to make our descent, I took a moment to look out at Eridani IV. The planet, with its swirling clouds and vast landscapes, was a stark contrast to the dire situation unfolding on its surface. It was a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the relentless perseverance of those who sought to protect it. The transmission from the colony's governor was the most sobering of all. She spoke of families torn apart, of brave medical personnel fighting a losing battle, and of the sheer desperation that had gripped the population. Her voice, laced with fatigue and sorrow, conveyed the gravity of the situation. "We're counting on you, Dr. Chen, Captain Rivera," she said, her image flickering on the screen. "You're our last hope." The finality of her words echoed in the cabin of the Nova Dawn. Our mission was no longer a distant objective. It was a tangible, pressing reality. The fate of the Eridani IV colony rested in our hands, and the weight of this responsibility was both an honor and a burden. As we initiated the landing sequence, I looked over at Leo. He nodded, a silent acknowledgement of the task ahead. We were ready to face whatever awaited us on the surface. Our journey through space had been a testament to human endurance and courage, but the real battle lay ahead. The descent of the colony was a quiet affair, the ship's engines humming softly as we made our way through the planet's atmosphere. The vastness of space gave way to the skies of Eridani IV, a world now marked by the scars of an unseen enemy. As the Nova Dawn touched down on the landing pad, I braced myself for what was to come. The hatch opened, revealing the colony in its state of crisis. The air was filled with a sense of urgency, the ground crew rushing towards us, their faces etched with exhaustion and relief. We were greeted by a team of medical personnel, their protective suits a stark reminder of the virus's deadly nature. They carefully transported the vaccine from our ship, handling the cryo container with a mix of reverence and desperation. As we stepped onto the surface of Eridani 4, the reality of the situation hit me. The colony, once a bustling center of activity, was eerily quiet. The streets were empty, save for the occasional transport vehicle rushing past. In the distance, I could see makeshift quarantine zones, the efforts to contain the virus palpable in every corner of the colony. The faces of the colonists we passed spoke volumes. There was fear, yes, but also a flicker of hope. Our arrival with the vaccine was a beacon of light in their darkest hour. Their eyes followed us, a silent plea for salvation. In the medical center, the situation was grim. Rows of patients lay in makeshift wards, their breathing labored, their conditions dire. The medical staff, though weary, worked with relentless determination, their resolve unbroken despite the overwhelming odds. The distribution of the vaccine began immediately. I assisted in preparing the doses, my hands steady despite the chaos around me. Each vial was a promise of life, a potential end to the suffering that had enveloped the colony. As I administered the vaccine to the first patient, a young mother with fear in her eyes, I felt a surge of hope. This was why we had journeyed through the stars, why we had faced the dangers of space and the threats of pirates. This moment, this chance to make a difference, was the culmination of all our efforts. Our mission on Eridani 4 was far from over, but as we began the fight against the alien virus, I knew that we had brought more than just a vaccine. We had brought the possibility of a future, a chance to reclaim the lives that had been so mercilessly disrupted. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The distribution of the vaccine across Eridani Ivy's colony was underway, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. However, our mission faced another unexpected hurdle that threatened to derail our efforts. In the midst of our life-saving work, Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, discovered a sinister act of sabotage aboard the Nova Dawn. It was Leo who first noticed the anomalies. "Something's not right," he muttered, examining the ship's internal systems. The diagnostics revealed a series of malfunctions and irregularities that couldn't be attributed to normal wear and tear. Someone had tampered with the Nova Dawn's critical systems. The revelation was a blow to our already strained mission. The colony's survival hinged not only on the vaccine but also on our ability to return to Calypso Station for more supplies and assistance. The sabotage of our ship jeopardized not just our return journey, but the entire relief effort. We worked feverishly to assess and repair the damage. The ship's engine core, navigation system, and life support had all been subtly compromised. It was a deliberate act, designed to be undetectable until it was too late. The question of who would commit such a heinous act, and why, lingered ominously in the air. The repairs were challenging, requiring both Leo's expertise as a pilot and my analytical skills as a scientist. The cramped confines of the engine room became our new battleground, the tools and components our weapons against this new threat. Amidst the tangle of wires and circuits, we found evidence of the saboteur's method, a series of expertly placed overrides and corrupted data files. It was a sophisticated attack, requiring knowledge of the Nova Dawn systems. This unsettling realization added an element of urgency to our repairs. Not only were we up against the clock, but we also had to consider the possibility of the saboteur still being in the colony. Working in tandem, Leo and I methodically repaired each system. The task was arduous, with every fixed component bringing a small sigh of relief. Our hands were stained with grease and our brows beaded with sweat, but our determination never wavered. As we labored, the colony's medical team continued to administer the vaccine, their efforts undiminished by the setback aboard our ship. Their dedication was a constant source of inspiration, fueling our resolve to overcome the sabotage and ensure the success of our mission. Finally, after hours of meticulous work, we managed to restore the Nova Dawn's critical systems to operational status. The sense of accomplishment was palpable, but it was tempered by the knowledge that someone had tried to sabotage our mission, to doom the colony for reasons unknown. With the ship's systems back online, Leo and I returned to the medical center to assist with the ongoing efforts. The progress was evident. Many of those who had received the vaccine were showing signs of recovery, a testament to the tireless work of the medical team and the effectiveness of the vaccine. However, the shadow of the sabotage loomed over us. The uncertainty of who was behind it and the possibility of further threats added a layer of tension to our already daunting task. We knew that our mission was far from over, and that vigilance was more critical than ever. The colony of Eridani 4, once on the brink of collapse, was slowly pulling back from the edge, but the journey ahead was still fraught with challenges. The virus was being combated, but the human element of treachery and fear remained an unpredictable factor. As we prepared for the next phase of our mission, I couldn't help but feel a mix of hope and apprehension. The success of the vaccine distribution was a significant victory, but the mystery of the sabotage and the potential for further challenges reminded us that our fight against the virus was only part of the battle. The restored Nova Dawn stood ready for our return journey to Calypso Station, but Eridani IV's struggles were far from over. As Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, prepared to depart, our mission took an unexpected turn, presenting us with a moral dilemma that tested the very core of our values. While performing final checks on the Nova Dawn, a distress signal pierced the comm of the colony's communications network. A cargo ship, the Starlight Wanderer, was adrift in a nearby sector, its crew pleading for assistance. They had been attacked by space pirates, the same threat we had narrowly escaped. Leo and I faced a harrowing decision. Our primary mission was to return to Calypso Station for more supplies and to report on the situation at the colony. Every moment was critical, and any delay could have dire consequences. However, the thought of leaving the crew of the Starlight Wanderer to an uncertain fate weighed heavily on our conscience. The debate was tense, with time slipping away. We have a duty to the colony, I argued, the weight of our responsibility pressing down on me. But we also have a duty to help those in need, countered Leo, his voice laced with conflict. In the end, our decision was guided by the fundamental principles of compassion and duty. We couldn't in good conscience ignore the plight of the Starlight Wanderer. Setting a course for the distressed ship, we prepared for a detour that could potentially jeopardize our primary mission. As we approached the coordinates of the distress signal, the reality of the situation became clear. The Starlight Wanderer was badly damaged, its hull scarred from the pirate attack. Its crew, a small team of traders, were stranded with no means of propulsion or communication. Leo maneuvered the Nova Dawn alongside the crippled ship, showcasing his exceptional piloting skills under pressure. We established a temporary life support link and began transferring the crew to our ship. They were frightened and injured, but grateful for our intervention. The rescue operation was swift but tense, every second stretching out as we were all too aware of the ticking clock of our primary mission. With the last of the Starlight Wanderer's crew safely aboard the Nova Dawn, we set a course back to our original trajectory, our detour costing us precious time but saving lives in the process. The gratitude of the rescued crew was palpable, their relief a stark contrast to the anxiety that clouded our own minds. We had done the right thing, but the impact of our decision on the colony's fate remained to be seen. The burden of leadership and the weight of making such critical decisions were never more apparent. As we resumed our journey to Calypso Station, the faces of the rescued crew members stayed with me. Their ordeal was a harsh reminder of the dangers lurking in space, the constant threat posed by pirates, and the fragile nature of life on the frontier. Our detour to save the Starlight Wanderer was a testament to the enduring human spirit, the willingness to extend a helping hand even in the face of personal risk. It reinforced the belief that amidst the vast and often hostile expanse of space, compassion and solidarity were the beacons that guided us through the darkness. The Nova Dawn, now carrying more souls than it had set out with, sped through the stars. Our mission had taken a detour, but our resolve remained unshaken. We were determined to fulfill our duty to the colony and to uphold the values that defined us, not just as a pilot and a scientist, but as human beings. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. With the crew of the Starlight Wanderer safely aboard, Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Mia Chin, refocused our efforts on reaching Calypso Station. Our detour had cost us time, a luxury we could ill afford, but the lives saved were a testament to our mission's broader humanitarian scope. As we neared Eridani 4 once more, the stark reality of our initial mission came back into sharp focus. The planet, with its swirling clouds and vast landscapes, loomed large in the Nova Dawn's viewport, a silent witness to the suffering unfolding on its surface. Approaching the colony, we were struck by the drastic measures taken to contain the outbreak. A strict quarantine blockade had been established in orbit, a ring of patrol ships and automated defense systems encircling the planet. It was a somber sight, the physical manifestation of the fear and desperation caused by the virus. Communication with the colony's command center was tense. We were initially met with suspicion, the blockade's commanders wary of any incoming vessel. However, once we identified ourselves and explained the nature of our mission, their tone shifted to one of relief and urgency. Navigating through the quarantine blockade required precision and care. Leo's skills as a pilot were once again put to the test. The patrol ships, though understanding of our mission, were strict in their protocols, guiding us through a specific flight path to avoid any breach of the quarantine. The tension aboard the Nova Dawn was palpable as we made our approach. The crew of the Starlight Wanderer, still recovering from their ordeal, watched in silence, their fate intertwined with that of the colony below. As we descended through the atmosphere, the scale of the crisis became even more evident. The once bustling colony ports were eerily quiet, the streets deserted. Emergency response vehicles and hastily erected medical tents were visible from above, a stark contrast to the normalcy of life before the outbreak. Landing at the designated port, we were immediately met by a team of medical and security personnel. The vaccine, our precious cargo, was quickly unloaded, each vial representing a glimmer of hope in the fight against the virus. The sight of the sick and suffering colonists was heart-wrenching. Men, women, and children, afflicted by the alien virus, lay in rows of temporary wards, their eyes reflecting pain and fear. The medical teams worked tirelessly, their exhaustion evident, but fueled by the arrival of the vaccine. As we assisted in the distribution of the vaccine, I couldn't help but feel a mixture of sorrow and determination. The impact of our mission was immediate, the vaccine offering a chance at recovery and survival. Yet, the battle against the virus was far from over. The colony would need more than just medicine. It would need time, care, and resilience to overcome the devastation wrought by the outbreak. As we prepared for the next phase of our mission, the return journey to Calypso Station, I reflected on the enormity of what we had undertaken. We had faced challenges in space, battled pirates, and saved lives. Our journey was a testament to the power of human will and the unyielding spirit of those who venture into the unknown. With the first batch of the vaccine successfully delivered and administered to the colonists of Eridani IV, it was time for Captain Leo Rivera and me, Dr. Miachin, to return to Calypso Station. However, our mission was far from over. The return journey meant breaching the quarantine blockade once again, a task fraught with danger and complexity. The blockade, established to prevent the spread of the virus, was a formidable barrier. A series of patrol ships and automated defense systems formed a nearly impenetrable ring around the planet. Navigating through it required not only exceptional piloting skills but also precise coordination with the colony's command center. As Leo steered the Nova Dawn towards the blockade, the tension on board was palpable. The crew of the Starlight Wanderer, still aboard our ship, watched in silent anticipation. We all understood the risks involved. A single misstep could mean disaster. Communicating with the blockade's command was a delicate dance of codes and clearances. Every ship attempting to leave the planet was subject to strict scrutiny, and despite our previous clearance, we were no exception. The threat of the virus made the blockade's commanders exceedingly cautious. Leo's expertise came to the forefront as he maneuvered the Nova Dawn through the designated exit corridor. The patrol ships monitored our every move, their weapon systems a constant reminder of the seriousness of our undertaking. The blockade was like a giant puzzle, a labyrinth of moving parts and precise timing. Leo navigated the Nova Dawn with a calmness that belied the intensity of the situation. His hands were steady on the controls, guiding the ship through the narrow passage that had been allocated to us. As we passed the final checkpoint, a sense of relief washed over the cabin. We had successfully breached the blockade, but our journey was far from over. The space beyond Eridani IV was vast and filled with its own set of challenges. I turned to look back at the planet we were leaving behind. Eridani IV, with its swirling clouds and sprawling landscapes, was a beautiful sight, but it was now a world marked by struggle and pain. The experience of delivering the vaccine and witnessing the colony's suffering had left an indelible mark on my soul. Our return to Calypso Station was crucial. We needed to debrief, resupply, and prepare for the next phase of our mission. The fight against the virus was ongoing, and our role in it was far from finished. The journey back was a time for reflection and planning, for considering the next steps in this unprecedented battle against an alien threat. As the Nova Dawn sped through the cosmos, I realized that our mission was more than a scientific endeavor. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of adversity, we had come together, united in a common goal, and had overcome incredible odds. The stars outside the viewport seemed to shine a little brighter, a reminder of the vast and beautiful universe we were a part of, and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. As the Nova Dawn made its way back to Calypso Station, Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, along with the crew of the Starlight Wanderer, felt a mix of relief and anticipation. Our return trip was crucial. We needed to report on the situation at Eridani IV, resupply, and prepare for subsequent vaccine deliveries. The journey back was relatively uneventful, a stark contrast to our perilous trip to the colony. The vastness of space, once a canvas of uncertainty and danger, now felt like a familiar path leading us home. However, the gravity of our mission remained at the forefront of our minds. Upon docking at Calypso Station, we were greeted with a flurry of activity. News of our successful delivery and the encounter with the pirates had spread, making our return something of an event. Officials, medical personnel, and members of the press awaited us, eager for first-hand accounts of the situation on Eridani 4. The debriefing was thorough. I provided detailed reports on the virus's effects and the vaccine's initial efficacy. Leo recounted our navigation through the quarantine blockade and the encounter with the space pirates, highlighting the dangers that still lurked in space. The crew of the Starlight Wanderer were hailed as survivors and heroes, their ordeal a harrowing reminder of the risks faced by those who travel the stars. Their gratitude towards us was heartfelt, their experiences adding weight to the importance of our mission. The next phase of our mission involved planning for continuous vaccine deliveries to Eridani 4. The initial batch we delivered was a significant first step, but the colony required more doses and ongoing medical support. Our role had expanded. We were no longer just couriers of the vaccine, but key players in a larger effort to combat the virus. As we prepared for the subsequent trips, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of responsibility. The colony's fate was intertwined with our actions, and the weight of this responsibility was both humbling and daunting. The preparation for the next delivery was meticulous. The vaccine production had been ramped up, and we were to transport larger quantities. Security measures were also enhanced, considering the threat posed by space pirates and other potential dangers. As the Nova Dawn was loaded with the new batch of vaccines, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. The success of our initial delivery had provided a glimmer of hope to the colony, but the battle against the virus was far from over. We were in a race against time, each delivery critical to the survival and recovery of Eridani 4. Our team, now more experienced and cohesive, worked with precision and determination. The Nova Dawn had become more than just a ship. It was a lifeline between the colony and the rest of the galaxy. Our journey back to Eridani 4 was set against a backdrop of cautious optimism. The vaccine was proving effective, but the virus was relentless, and our efforts needed to be sustained and unwavering. As we left Calypso Station once again, I looked back at the bustling hub of activity, a stark reminder of the vibrant life that continued across the galaxy, despite the shadows cast by the virus. It was a reminder that our mission was a part of a larger struggle, a fight not just for the survival of a single colony, but for the preservation of humanity's place among the stars. The journey ahead would be challenging, but we were ready. The Nova Dawn, carrying its precious cargo and a crew united by a common goal, sped towards Eridani 4, ready to continue the fight against the pandemic that threatened to engulf the colony. Our story was far from over, but each step we took was a step towards victory against a foe that had brought us to the brink. The resilience and courage we had witnessed and embodied were beacons of hope in a time of darkness. As the stars passed by outside the Nova Dawn's viewport, I reflected on the journey that lay ahead. The delivery of the vaccine was just one part of a larger battle, a battle that was being fought not just with medicine, but with the indomitable spirit of those who refused to surrender to despair. The Nova Dawn's return to Eridani 4 marked the final phase of an extraordinary mission. As Captain Leo Rivera and I, Dr. Miachin, along with our resilient crew, approached the colony for the last time, a sense of accomplishment mixed with somber reflection filled the air. Upon landing, we were met with scenes vastly different from our first arrival. The vaccine had begun to turn the tide against the virus. The once desolate streets of the colony were slowly coming back to life, with people cautiously resuming their daily routines. The air of despair that had once hung over Eridani 4 was now tinged with cautious optimism. The medical teams greeted us with exhausted smiles, their eyes telling stories of endless shifts, but also of lives saved and a crisis gradually being overcome. The vaccine was proving effective, and the rate of new infections had significantly decreased. Our efforts, it seemed, had not been in vain. As we helped distribute the final batch of the vaccine, I couldn't help but feel a profound connection to the people of the colony. Their resilience in the face of such adversity was inspiring. They had faced the unknown with courage and had emerged stronger, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. In the days that followed, Leo and I worked with the colony leaders to establish a long-term plan for medical support and prevention strategies. The battle against the virus was far from over, but with the vaccine and continued vigilance, Eridani 4 would recover. As we prepared to depart for Calypso Station for the last time, I looked back at the colony, now a symbol of hope and resilience. Our mission had started as a desperate race against time, but it had evolved into something much greater, a fight for the future of a community, a testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. Aboard the Nova Dawn, as the stars passed by in a blur, I reflected on our journey. We had faced challenges that tested our limits, encountered dangers that threatened our mission, and made choices that defined who we were. Our story was one of determination, bravery, and the relentless pursuit of hope in the darkest of times. As I conclude this chapter of the story, I turn to you, the reader. Write in the comments below the video, what do you think about this story? Do you think the characters did the right thing? Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories.